promise you a recording of me. That's exactly what you're going to get. Mr. C is in here as well. So if you hear any strange noises, that's him. Okay. Guys, I need you to take out a piece of paper. That means you as well, Jared. That means you as well, Baron. Caroline, please stop talking. Trey, sit down. Jacob, don't touch other children. Okay, here's what I need you guys to write. Put this down in your notes. We are multiplying, or maybe we are, I don't know. Mr. C, what just happened here? Oh, never mind. Here we go. Multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. You guys need to write this down on top of your notes. Multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. Hopefully you guys got that down, and that's what this looks like. You got sense? Okay, write this problem down. We're going to have 3 on the outside of the parentheses. 5x squared plus 2x minus 4 minus x, open parentheses, 7x squared plus 2x minus 3, close parentheses. Okay, so basically what you guys are doing is you're just distributing. Alright, so we're going to distribute what's outside the parentheses to everything that's on the inside, and then we're going to combine like terms. Be careful of your signs. So let's look at this one by one. We have a positive 3 and we're multiplying it into the parentheses times a positive 5x squared. So that would become, Dylan, what's the answer? I'm just kidding, I'm talking to myself. This is really weird. All right.
Can I put my clothes back on now?
Okay, so that turns into 15x squared for the first term. We're going to multiply the 3 times the second term. So we have positive 3 times positive 2x, so that's going to become positive 6x. And then we're going to multiply the 3 times negative 4, and so that's going to become negative 12. We're going to continue with our second parentheses, and remember, we need to attach the sign that's in front of that x. So this is negative x times positive 7x squared. That will become negative 7x cubed. Remember, when we multiply exponents, you add them together. So we have a x to the 1 power and an x squared. Now we're going to take the negative x and we're going to multiply by the second term. So that will become negative x times positive 2x will be negative 2x squared. You have an x to the 1 and an x to the 1, so you have to add those together. And now we have negative x times the last number in the parentheses, which is negative 3. So negative x times negative 3 will become a positive 3x. Now at this point, what you guys need to do is combine your like terms. So if you're doing it vertically, the first thing I would say is we're going to look for the highest degree. So that would be x to the 3rd power. Remember to attach the sign that's in front of it. So that's a negative 7x cubed. All right, negative 7x cubed. Then we're going to look for our squareds, which is going to be negative 2x squared and a positive 15x squared. So that's going to be plus 15x squared. We're actually setting this up horizontally, not vertically. Minus 2x squared. And then we have a positive 6x and a positive 3x. So plus 6x plus 3x. All I've done is I've rewritten it so that they're all right next to each other. And then we have a negative 12 by itself. So a negative 12 on the end. So now we can combine these two. So we move down our negative 7x cubed we're going to combine positive 15x squared minus 2x squared, or negative 2x squared. That's going to give us a positive 13x squared. We can combine positive 6x and positive 3x to give us positive 9x, and then we move the 12 down. And so our final answer would be negative 7x cubed plus 13x squared plus 9x minus 12. Remember, when you guys are combining like terms, don't touch the jerseys. So these are like different jerseys, and so they need to stay frozen. That's when we're adding and subtracting. When you're multiplying, you guys can touch the variables. And so remember that you need to add up the exponents and combine them. So this would be as far as we can go, and this is simplified, and this would be your answer. So we're going to do 2 more of these, and then we're going to move on to something else. Oh, even better. Okay. Next problem. Make sure you guys write this down. Jared, stop being lazy. All right, here we go. We're gonna take a situation where we're actually gonna solve for a variable. So we're gonna have one variable on both sides, but you're still doing the same thing. So we're gonna say 2x on the outside of the parentheses, and then x plus 4 inside. 2x times x plus 4 plus 7 is equal to x plus 8 plus 2x, open parentheses, x plus 1, close parentheses, plus 12. And this is going to be a really ugly fraction, but just stay with it. So here's what you need to do, guys, is you guys need to distribute first. Just distribute everything, combine like terms, and since we're getting to a situation where all the variables are on one side or the other, we're going to be able to combine, and eventually we're going to be able to solve for x. And so here's where we go. We're going to distribute first. All right, just take it step by step. So we're going to say 2x times x, that's going to give us 2x squared. 2x times positive 4 is going to give us positive 8x. Then we have a plus 7 on the outside of the parentheses and an equal sign. On the other side of the equation, we have our x plus 8. And then in this parentheses, we need to distribute the 2x. So we're going to have a positive 2x squared. And then the 2x times 1 will give us another positive 2x. And then we have a plus 12 on the outside. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start combining and moving everything over. We're going to want to isolate our x. We're going to subtract. What I'll do first is subtract 2x squared from both sides. So I'm moving the 2x squared from the right side over to the 2x squared on the other side. And when I do that, what you guys see is positive 2x squared minus 2x squared. These are going to cancel out on both sides. And so those are gone. So we're left with 8x plus 7 is equal to x plus 8 plus 2x plus 12. We can go ahead and combine anything on one side of the equation or the other that has a like term. So since we have a 1x over here and a 2x, we can combine those together. We also have a positive 8 and a positive 12. So let's combine all those. So our x's will become 3x, and our whole numbers here are going to become positive 20. On the other side of the equation, you still have 8x plus 7. All right? So this is back to the very beginning of Algebra 1. We're just going to isolate our variables. So we're going to move 3x over, move 3x over, and we're also going to move the 7 over to the other side. All right? So our 3x is gone on this side, and our whole numbers are gone on the other. And so we finish with 5x is equal to 13. That's 20 minus 7. That's going to give us 5x is equal to 13. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. And so our final answer is x is equal to 13 over 5. So that's a little bit different type of problem. All you're really doing is you're still just distributing what's outside the parentheses inside. but then you're gonna finish working through the problem, and in this case, you actually get a chance to solve for x. We'll do one more, and then we'll move on to the next little lesson. This is actually a problem out of your book, but I want you to write this down. 9b squared. And we're going to open the parentheses. And we have 2b cubed minus 3b squared plus b minus 8. So it looks complicated, but just take it step by step, remember all your rules, and distribute it to everything inside the parentheses. So we have a positive 9b squared, and we're going to distribute it inside to a positive 2b cubed. So the 9 and the 2 will become 18, and then we have b squared times b to the third. So you're going to add those exponents, so that becomes 18b to the fifth. Okay? We're going to take that 9b and we're going to multiply it over here to the second term. And that will be 9b squared times negative 3. So that's going to be a negative 27. B squared times b squared is going to give us b to the fourth. You're going to take it and multiply it times the third term, which is b. So that's just going to give us a positive 9b to the third. You have b squared and b to the first power. So that's going to become b cubed. And then our last term, 9b squared times negative 8. And that's going to give us a negative 72b squared. All right, negative 72b squared. Now what you guys would do is you would look at all these variables and you look at the exponents attached to them. We have a b squared, we have a b to the third, a b to the fourth, and a b to the fifth. So these are all different jerseys. You cannot combine these. These are not like terms. And so therefore, this right here is your final answer. There's nothing else to simplify. So when you do these, guys, sometimes you're just distributing. Sometimes they'll have you distribute and there'll be some like terms that you can combine. And other times they're going to give you an equation. And if you work through it, you should be able to solve for the variable itself. All right, but just keep going until you can't go anymore. In this case, once you get to something that's just addition and subtraction, there's no equation here. So you're looking for all your like terms. As soon as you've combined them, you are done. Okay, any questions? Stephanie? You okay? Okay. All right, good. Oh, before we finish, hopefully you're still playing this. For this section, what I want you guys to do is your work, and this will be collected by the end of today. Your work is page 392. 392, 17 through 31, odd. And then 36 through 41, all. Page 392, 17 through 31, odd. 36 through 41, all. Okay. Is it still recording?